All right, all right. Getting ready to go late night. Late night, late night. Yes, late night. Share it out, share it out. Late night. Yes, yes, yes. It's crazy, guys. Crazy, crazy, right? All right, all right, all right. It's late night with Dr. Tamara with Pussycat Talk Podcast. Guys, this is crazy. This is crazy. Okay? This is crazy. Don't you guys think this is crazy? You don't think this is crazy? Diddy is running scared. He is running scared, guys. Okay? He is running scared. Okay? He is running scared. And I honestly believe that he is, as I was showing, let me share this again with you guys. Um, let me share this again. I don't know what happened to with my camera. Boy, I'm just having all kinds of technical difficulties. Hold on one second, guys. I'll restart it again. But Diddy is running scared, okay? Diddy is running scared. All right. You got Brandon, who was arrested. He's the guy that was considered his muse. He's over there giving out all the drugs. He's the one that's spiking all the drinks. Yes, crazy. Making sure all the drugs allegedly were supplied. But when they met up with Diddy yesterday, when they were at the airport, he was the one that is supplying them at all the parties, allegedly, with all the drugs, from the gummies to the cookies to the liquid cocaine. Insane. It's absolutely insane. Insane. Another thing that's even more crazy, okay, is Cuba Gooding. There's some footage. Okay, I don't know what's going on with my camera, guys. I'm sorry. Let me see, let me check something out real quick. Might have to restart my live over real quick. Let me see. We may have to start my live over. All right. I'm back. I was like, what is going on? Something's wrong with my doggone camera. Okay. But as I was saying, right, Diddy is on the run. He is on the run. And ooh, there's been so much that's been going on today. And again, shout out to the families who lost any loved ones during the Baltimore Bridge that collapsed. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. They're trying to say there's some conspiracy theories going on with that. And I don't think it's any conspiracy theories, actually. I actually think that it just happened. Well, I will say this, it did look suspicious. Isn't it suspicious the way it ran into the beam pole? Like you had all this room and you're so close to where one of the stands are. So that was my only thing. I'm like, okay, that part actually looks a little bit suspicious. Okay, so I was actually kind of concerned with that portion of it. But on another front, as stated. Okay, I'm sitting up here getting my notes because I'm like, ooh wee, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on from P. Diddy selling his shares. Okay. He sold his shares to his company for Revolt. That's crazy. That's crazy, right? He has sold his shares. He has sold his shares. Okay. I got so much. Hold on one second, guys. I'm just gonna pull it all up. Then you got folks taking up for him. I mean, it's just like all kinds of stuff. So let me hold on for a second. I want to make sure that I am giving you guys the juice, because if you haven't followed me yet on on the YouTube, please come and follow me on the YouTube on PKT podcast, right? PKT podcast. I'm sorry. I had to put that in the put I had to get that out the way. Okay. I was like, wait a minute now. I got to make sure that I can see what I need to see so I can be talking to you guys, right? So let me make sure my camera's in. Okay, perfect, perfect, perfect. But yes, it is just the most craziest things. Some of the stuff that is literally being put out today with P. Diddy. You know, the other thing is he, that's what's so crazy, is he fleeing the country? Because he's straight running scared right now. Okay. He's straight running scared right now. He's straight running scared right now. All right. Because so I want to ask you guys, you know, and if you're not following me on YouTube, please make sure to follow me on YouTube. Because, like I said, we got a lot to cover tonight. Okay. We got a lot to cover. And we're not going to be on long, but I'm just going to make sure that I am giving you guys the juice. Okay. So we got a lot to cover. And if you want to come on over and follow me on YouTube, please follow me on YouTube. As a matter of fact, I'll go ahead and put the link in so you guys can follow me on YouTube. We're going to get some updates here. What's going on with P. Diddy, because it is the most insane thing. From selling his company, okay, from selling his company to did Quincy did Quincy undercover snitch? That's another one. That's another thing. Did Quincy undercover snitch on Diddy? Okay, it's just like, are you serious right now? You selling your daddy out? Okay, well that ain't his daddy. You know what I'm saying? That's Al B. Sure's son. So you know Al B. Sure is feeling vindicated. I'll be sure is feeling vindicated. I'm telling y'all, he's feeling vindicated. I'll be sure he's feeling vindicated. Okay. It's crazy what's happening. So the question I have for you, and then they amended what Lil Rod, who is suing him, the producer that was working for him. If you guys saw that document, it is 100 page. I was sitting up here reading it, and I was thinking about, just doing a line per line on it, just, giving, the information. So you wonder why I'm doing this. This is Dr. Tamar. This is Late Night with Pussycat Talk podcast. Look, I'm all about the family business and the financial literacy. And I want you guys to think about this for a second, what's getting ready to go down. Some people feel that he is being set up, okay, to take the fall for the big dogs. Okay. I feel like he supplied the people with all of it, and he is getting caught. What's your guys' thoughts on that? What's your guys' thoughts on that? Do you think that he's getting caught? I mean, that he is being the fall guy for all of this that's getting ready to go down? Is he the fall guy? Is he the fall guy? Because we know they've been doing this for a minute. This don't have nothing to do with him. They've been sitting up here. Everything is catching up to him. I most certainly agree with that. I totally agree that everything is catching up to Diddy, and that, because he's a piece of work. He's not a nice person. Okay. He seems very, very unhappy. All right. Seems very unhappy, to say the least. Okay, so he says, but everything is catching up to him, but we really don't know what he has really done. Yeah, yeah, I guess you could say that we don't know what he has done. Um, yeah, yeah, we don't because we weren't there. But, but, okay, but it's a big but, right? This is a big but. Dude been suspect for a long time. Dude been suspect for a long time. Here, make sure to join me on Pussycat Talk Podcast, PKT, on youtube.com/ at PKT Podcast. He has the ability to supply all the talent. It's quite interesting because he really does. Okay. And this is what's crazy because if you're following me on YouTube, you'll get to see some of this. You had Brendan, the guy. It was crazy the amount of the drugs that he's supplying them. He was considered the muse, right? He was the one that actually got arrested when he was with Diddy. Now, mind you, Diddy did get asked to come in yesterday when they had when they had stopped him at the airport. So it wasn't like he wasn't asked to come in. He was asked to come in and let go. But Brendan was the one who got arrested. Let me make sure you guys understand that. Brendan is the one who got arrested. So let me read this comment real quick. We can't find him guilty just by our opinions. True that. Even though I do believe he has done some effed up ish. He most certainly has done some effed up stuff. Okay? He is, come on now. He's sitting up here sending videos to 50 Cent, which I'm going to talk about this 50 Cent situation, okay? Because word on the curb is that she allegedly used to work for P. Diddy and was at the FOs, okay? If you don't know what the FOs are, those are considered the freak offs, all right? That Diddy used to do that, again, it's a preponderance amount of people that are coming out, that have come out and stated what was going down. A lot of people were hurt by what he has allegedly have done. So I have a tendency just based on patterns. Okay. I'm basing this on patterns. All right. It's too many incidents with Diddy. And mind you, back in the day, we used to do the photography for the nightclubs, and we had 5 nightclubs that we used to do all the digital work for. And in the 1990s, that's my era, that all of that situation was, our era. And when I tell you that we saw some things, because we would do some of the parties through the photography, this, that, and the other. So we would see some of the things that were going on, and they was wild. They were wild. Okay. It was wild. I was just like, not to the point where we saw I can't say folks weren't doing drugs, smoking weed, or snorting coke, that kind of stuff. They definitely was doing that kind of stuff. Can't say I did not see girl on girl, guy on guy or anything like that, because we did the photography for it. We were there for some of the events, that they were doing. I remember I was doing something for Jagged Edge, and yeah, it was just crazy back in the day. That's all I could tell you. It was just definitely crazy. And being someone on the outside watching, not what they're talking about now, but it was still heightened to another level. Whereas it was crazy. Here in Atlanta, strip club at the time was something that was super duper 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 popular. So everybody was going to the club. We did an event at the club, meaning we didn't do an event, but we were the photographers for their event at the club. And some of the things that we saw, we were like, wow. That's all I can tell you. So yes, do I believe it? Absolutely. I believe it, just based on the fact when we had our company, Digicam Photography, that is some of the things that we actually saw go down. go down. Okay. Thank you so much for joining me on YouTube. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe. And if you want to join me up on stage, I'll go ahead and put in the stream because I would love to do some side by side chat, just having some discussions with you guys about what is really going on and what is really going down. So let me go ahead and put this in the chat. Join me live if you game. Okay, if you game to be my partner for tonight, join me, hit that, come into the room here on YouTube so we can really, really, really have this great conversation because it's wild out here. Okay. It's wild out here. That's all I'm trying to tell you. It's wild. And so some of this that's going down, do you think I don't necessarily think he will go to jail. But then again, R. Kelly went to jail. So if R. Kelly went to jail, then there is a good chance that he might go to jail if he is found guilty of the sex trafficking. And that is what I think they're going to get him on, the sex trafficking, not so much of the assault of all of these people, the alleged assaults, I think they're going to get him on the sex trafficking portion because providing girls and men for events and then crossing the state lines and stuff like that. That's what I think they're going to catch him on. Okay. Not the fact that he was assaulting people, the alleged sex trafficking. And then supposedly, one of his sons, which one was it? Justin. Okay. He was involved allegedly and finding them. It was like his thing. And plus, that ain't Diddy's son. Justin ain't Diddy's son anyway. That is Wolf's son, the bodyguard that used to work for him. Okay. That's whose son it is. All right. All right. So let's talk about how KKK. Let me go ahead and bring up let me go ahead and bring up, all right, Ethiopia, who used to work for Motown. Okay. Why she turning? Why she stay? If you haven't joined me on YouTube, make sure to join me on YouTube because I'm putting up some things for you guys to see. Ooh wee, ooh wee, ooh wee. Why is Ethiopia? She was like, yeah, I saw some stuff, but I wasn't quite sure what I saw. Oh, she straight turning evidence. Okay. She talking. So people are turning on Diddy. And I think really honestly, some of the people were just so scared. You know what I'm saying? Hey, if you're joining me on Instagram, please make sure to come on over and join us on YouTube /at the PKT podcast. That's Pussycat Podcast with me, Dr. Tamara, for late night. And yes, we are talking about the Diddy situation. And if you are joining me, please don't forget to hit the like on YouTube and hit subscribe. I would definitely love, 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 love for one of you guys to come on up, with me so we can have this conversation about what's going down with Diddy. And I'm 55. Well, actually, you might as well say I'm 56 because I'll be 56 on Monday. Okay. And I had my son in 94. So we used to call him Biggie Smalls. So that just goes to show you I was a part of that era at that time. And it was a lot going on in that time. That's all I can tell you. It was a lot going on in that time, right? So here it is. Now you have people that are turning on or talking against P. Diddy. And he has a lot of enemies. And he gonna be telling on everybody. So when they raided his house yesterday, think about it for a second. They're raiding to find more information. All the electronics that were that they were locating. What pictures, what video, what audio do they have on this man? Like on some real talk. What video, what pictures, what audio? Because he had cameras in every single room. So he saw everything. They were talking about that in each room they ransacked. Man, that's the only thing. It's like, okay, you're allegedly have been sex trafficking, right? They rolled up on him like he was El Chapo. Would you guys agree or agree? Did they roll up on Diddy like he was El Chapo? That's how they rolled up on Diddy, like he was El Chapo. Okay. And then he took the box out. So therefore, don't forget to hit the subscribe if you're joining me on YouTube. Those who are on Facebook and those who are on Instagram, please join me on YouTube. I really would like for you guys to join me on YouTube. Don't forget to hit the subscribe and the like to help me move this brand new podcast. I'm super duper excited about it from a woman's perspective. Okay. Yes, it's PUZZY, Pussycat Talk podcast here with Dr. Tamara late night. So let's get back to it. All right. So this chick, Ethiopia, all right. Ethiopia, I don't even know how to pronounce her last name. Habitarimium. I think that's her last name. Ethiopia Habitarimium. This is who you see right here on the screen. She talking. She talking. She telling what she saw. Now, then there's also KK, who I'm sorry, Ethiopia worked for Motown. Then there's the chick KK, who was president with Diddy. She sat up here and stated that when questioned, did you see anything? She said, "Well, I would leave the room. I, you know, when Diddy's being Diddy." When I read the transcript, I'm sorry, when I read the complaint with Rodney Littlejohn Jones against Diddy and Cuba Gooding, I was like, wow, that's crazy that he was rubbing his hand down his back and onto his anus. I was like, are you serious right now? Maybe we need to read the complaint. So maybe tomorrow I'll read the complaint. Again, it was 100 pages, but just line per line, some of the accusations that he is toting against P. Diddy. It was absolutely incredible. I was just like, wow, when I was reading it. I might try to, I'll read a sentence or two tonight, but it is, let me see if I can find it for you guys real quick, just to read some of the things that was being stated. Okay. Let me see if I can find that real quick. Let's see here. And I know some of y'all played that lottery because that thing is $1 billion, both of them. All right. So hold on one second. Let me see if I can pull this up, so you guys can see this, because this right here, ooh wee, okay, ooh wee is all I can say. Just something. It was very detailed, and it was very very detailed out about Rodney Jones. Rodney, here it is. Let's see if I can pull it up real quick. Yeah, it's pretty deep. Just it was very detailed. It was almost as if he was documenting this information, um, for his potentially to come back and use. You know what I'm saying? So that's always something to deal with. They say snitches. Sorry, yeah. If I'm feeling like I am not safe, I'll be snitching too, right? Will anybody else tell? Will anybody else snitch? I'd be snitching too. All right, so I just pulled up the complaint for you guys, and it was actually amended. Okay, it was actually amended again. This sucker is crazy. But just listen to this. It says the court has personal jurisdiction over defendant under the consistent with the constitutional requirement of due process. So, all right. So it says here, from September 22nd to the date of this filing, defendant has consistently and purposely availed themselves of the privilege of conducting activities within New York, thus evoking the benefits of protection of New York law. In return for these benefits of protection, defendant must submit to the burden of litigation. So let's roll. Plaintiff Rodney Jones is an American artist and music producer. Mr. Jones resides in the state of New York of California. Defendant Sean Combs is a rapper and record executive, popularly known on the stage as Puff Daddy, Puffy, Puff, P. Diddy, Love, Brother Love. They got all his names, right? They got all of his names. This is just absolutely crazy, right? All right. It says Mr. Combs came to fame in the 1990s with the record label Bad Boy Records. He rose to prominence in the music and entertainment industry over the decade and is regularly referred to as the hip hop mogul. Mr. Combs resides at, they got his address on here. My God. Woo, child. Woo. If y'all are on here with me, please join me on YouTube. Don't forget to hit, thank you so much for joining. Don't forget to hit the like to kind of help with the algorithm. That's basically what it is. And hit subscribe. Help me out here as I'm growing this station. I mean, we've already over the last couple of days gotten to 125. So I really appreciate it. Just floored with this absolutely, Mel. These people were terrified for their lives. Yes, because they were feeling threatened. Now, hold up. In this document right here, the complaint that was filed against him, right? The complaint that was filed against him, it says, defendant Justin Dior Combs is the son of Mr. Combs and Misa Hulton. That is not his son. Justin Combs is not his son. Let me look up his daddy, okay? Let me look up his daddy so you guys can know, for those who are joining me on YouTube, that is not his son, okay? That is not his son. It's not. They say literally, I'm about to pull this up. It's going to trip you guys out. It's going to trip you guys out. And again, this was back in the day. I recall this, because again, it was during my time, things was wild. No different, no more wild than what it is now. I will say that, okay? I think now is much more wilder. I'll be quite honest, because everybody is free to do what they want to do, and it's just, whoo, whoo, is all I can say. So let me bring this other portion up, because I want to share with you guys who his real daddy is. Okay, the real daddy. All right, that Sean is not his dang on father. Okay, let me make sure you guys understand that. Wolf, the bodyguard, and they were saying anytime that somebody would get somebody in their life, like the bodyguards, okay, P. Diddy would get pissed off. All right, he would get pissed off, and he would do things to, manipulate. Rodney Jones, the Lil Rod, is the one who filed the suit against P. Diddy. He talked about how someone was sent to his mama and had their hand on her back while she was standing and took a picture. And he was like, so I can get to you. Just understand that. I can get to you. Okay, so it's just crazy. So this right here is Justin Combs' father. That's his real father. And if you don't know who his mama is, if you were to put those two together, okay, if you were to put those two together, and I know y'all like, okay, Dr. T, you normally be doing, financial stuff. Yes, I do normally do the financial stuff, but this right here, in a lot of ways, this is financial, and let me tell you why. Because it's a lot of money involved. He just sold off some of his shares. And the word on the curb is he sold his shares to the man who owns Essence now. So that's why they said it's still black owned, yada, yada, yada. So let me show you his mama and let me show you his daddy. Okay. So I'm going to stop the screen real quick. So if you're not joining me on YouTube, hit me up. The link is in the bio. Hit me up on YouTube. I'm not doing anything here on Instagram. I'm on YouTube. So let's see here. Let me see if we can do this real quick where you guys can see his mama, see the mama and the daddy together, and you can see who the real daddy, because that is not P. Diddy's child. Hold on one second, guys. I'm trying to share my screen. Okay. I'm trying to see behind my little stand. All right. Okay. So now you guys should be able to see. It's the link is right here. I put the link right here. Hold on one second. There we go. There we go. So you guys see this? This is mama and daddy. This is mama and daddy. That don't look nothing like P. Diddy at all. Would you guys agree? That does not look like P. Diddy. P. Diddy don't have no DNA of that boy. Okay? None. 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 That's his father, the bodyguard Wolf. Okay? Okay? If you guys notice, Quincy was not at the house when they got raided. So, word on the curb is Quincy is basically, yes, he looks just like him. Does he not look just like him? He looks like the mama and him. That's crazy, right? Make sure you join me here on YouTube at youtube.com/the @PKT podcast. He looks just like them. Ain't one lick of P. Diddy blood. And what they're saying is Justin was also doing the sex trafficking. I think it's just so crazy. I think it's so crazy how he was out of town on a jet and his kids were being arrested. Now, you talk about something foul. That is foul. Would you guys agree that that's foul? That's foul to me. Your kids are taking the blunt of some stuff that you did. That's crazy. That is so crazy. That is so crazy. Okay? But this is the mom and daddy right here. Right here. This is the mom and daddy right here. All right? That makes no sense. So, yes, it's going down. You can't dispute King being his son because he looks just like him. Okay? He looks just like him. So that is definitely his son. But that right there, that lie, that white lie, Okay? So let's get back to the complaint. Okay? Let's get back to the complaint because this is pretty deep. This is like crazy to me and very detailed. That's another thing. This is very detailed. So again, if you want to join me here on YouTube, go to youtube.com/the @PKT podcast. Okay. PKT podcast. Please join me over here and don't forget to hit the like button. Okay. The subscribe and the like that you like the information that I'm giving you guys. Because like I said, this is absolutely insane. I'm not going to lie. So let's continue to read here. So you got defendant Sean Puffy Combs. Then you got his son, Justin Lucien Charles Grange. It's insane. All right. They also have Lucien. Now check this out. Defendant Ethiopia Habertarim. That's who I was talking about. She has now been removed. It's been updated. She has been removed and she is talking. They got these people's addresses on here. That is insane. Now, defendant, this gentleman right here, the Lucien Charles Greenwich, the CEO, defendant of Universal Music Group, he was funding, basically giving them allegedly the money to fund these freak-offs. No, the dad was killed, Wendy. The dad was killed years ago. Years ago. The dad was killed. The dad was killed years ago. Thank you guys so much for joining us here on Pussycat Talk Podcast. I am Dr. Tamara. Late night, we're going to be talking business, politics, sex, and everything that's news related on the financial side. So this is big financial because one, he's lost his billionaire status. Two, he sold off all of his shares to Revolt. So he's trying to have liquid. Think about that for a second, guys. Is he on the run? Now, Kiki was Sean Puffy's assistant, his chief of staff. So she made little comments that when they asked, she was like, that's just Diddy being Diddy. So she saw him doing stuff and then she would leave the room. Okay. Defendant Motown is the record label with the principal place of business located. Got their address too. Ethiopia Habtermurian. I'm not saying her name right. I already know. Okay. Was the chairman and CEO of Universal Music for Motown. They got the record labels listed. Love Records, Motown Records, Universal Group. That's crazy. Okay. Combs Global. All right, Rod from Chi-Town, like me. Okay, he's the second. He got pictures. This is so crazy. So if you're not joining me over on YouTube, youtube.com/the @ and PKT podcast, you definitely need to come over because I'm reading the complaint. Insane. So see, that's what I was pissed off about. It used to be the parents would protect the children. Now yeah, oh, he fouled. He fouled because they was handcuffed. They went back last night. Justin went back around 10:30 to pick up his stuff. Then P. Diddy went back. Oh, I'm sorry. Because Christian, they call him King. Christian looked just like him. Okay. Christian looked just like him. Let me show you guys the raid real quick. Let me show you the raid. I mean, what it looked like in reference to. We're gonna go on over to TMZ. Let's go on over to TMZ. I'm gonna show you guys the video, because I think that's crazy. They ransacked somebody's house like that. I was just like, really? I mean, I wouldn't. I'd be a little bit upset about, you ransacking my house, but then again, he put himself in that situation. So, but check this out. TMZ has, showed it. Let me play this for you guys real quick. That's crazy. TMZ app. I'm not going to play their ads, but it's crazy because they're showing how their house was just ransacked. How they were going through everything. They were going in the pillow cushion. When they show on the movies that they going in the pillow cushions, they was going in the pillow cushions and everything. Okay, so hold up. Here it is right here. Look at this. Look at this, y'all. So you can see there are cameras everywhere, right? Cameras everywhere. Everywhere. You guys can't see this? Hold on 1 second. Let me make sure you guys can see this real quick. 1 second. Because right here, my screen is sitting up here blocking it. So 1 second. I'm going to replay it real quick. But it literally... Let's see here. We'll do the entire screen. 1 second. All right, let's do this entire screen so you guys can see. Because right here, absolutely insane. They was all in the drawers. They was up under the bed. They were showing everything. I mean, look at how they ransacking, clothes everywhere, shoes everywhere. They was going through everything. I was just like, wow. I would be ticked off if my house was treated that way. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being honest. Look at, they went all on the couches. Look at this. All throughout the drawers. The kids were staying there. His sons were staying there with him too. So you can see their clothes is everywhere. But look at what they've done. Just ransacking. That was a pretty big mansion, by the way. I don't know if you guys seen the mansion, but it's pretty big. Okay. Pretty big. Thank you so much, guys, for sitting up here joining me here tonight on PKT Podcast. Please don't forget to hit the like button. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to our new channel for our late night talks. This is really great. Again, I really appreciate you guys being here. So don't forget to hit the subscribe button. We got some folks watching, and I'm super duper glad. Hopefully you'll like the content that I'm bringing you because it's crazy. But as you guys can see, they are all up. Oh my God, they are all up. And now this is a really big house too. So for that house must be filled to the rim and everything. But look, they're going through all the drawers, everything, right? That's crazy. That is crazy. Dang, look at how they did that door. Okay, that's crazy. So that was on TMZ. Of course, they always got the footage on something, right? They always got the footage, right? They always got all the information. Okay, it's crazy. Yeah, Diddy man. He spit the fire, right? You know Diddy pissed off. You know he want to sit up here because his whole arrogancy of how he kind of rolled, right? So he I ain't gonna lie, to me, he kind of like Trump. He ready to get back at everybody. That's what I feel. Okay. I don't know what just happened. My thing went out for a second, but I'm still here. But to me, he's a little bit like Trump. He want to get back at everybody. He want to get back at everybody. And I think he's spitting fire because he doesn't have control. Because he does not have control. He is I know it's ticking him off. You seeing all the gray, he's so vain, he would normally have that gray covered up because he don't want to look good. I mean, look old. So damn, I know Diddy, man, yes. But why would a man who has done all the things he has done and possibly be mad? Because it's affecting his brand. All these allegations coming to hit him at one time. Is I feel bad for the daughters. The sons knows what's going down. The sons, the three of them. You didn't see Quincy anywhere, so that right there is suspect. That's suspect. Quincy was nowhere to be found. Was he tipped off? Did he know? I mean, think about it for a second. Did he know? Has he been talking? Because there's definitely some folks talking. Okay? There's definitely some folks talking. I'm just saying. All right? I guess he's such a narcissist and arrogant. He doesn't think he is wrong. Oh, most definitely. That is so most definite. He does not think that he's doing anything wrong at all. Okay? So I'm gonna put a poll up. Will Diddy get away? Or, with this, okay? I want you guys to, I'm gonna put this poll up. Hey, Taquita, join me on YouTube, girl. Join me on YouTube. It's in. Let me go ahead and I'll put the link back in here. We got some folks on over here on YouTube. If you guys want to come on up, yeah. Somebody said, ooh. Somebody said, no, we 50-50. We 50-50 on the poll. Shut the front door. I said, will Diddy get away with this? And it is a 50-50 split on the poll. 50% said yes, he's going to get away. And 50% says no, he is not going to get away. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. Okay? All right. So Wendy says, you think he'll turn on his dad? I think that Quincy already turned on his dad because he feels as if P. Diddy has allegedly poisoned his mom. Okay? Most definitely. Okay? Like on some real talk. None of them get away with it. They eventually get caught. Yes, that's they say you reap what you sow, right? You end up reaping what you sow. But I definitely do feel that there is a chance because Diddy let me tell y'all something. I feel like this from the bottom of my heart. Okay. If Diddy even get any kind of jail time, he's straight telling. He gonna give up everybody just to prevent from going to jail. Do you guys agree or agree? Do you guys agree or agree? Do you agree or agree? Oh, he giving up everybody if he's going to jail. What you guys think? Will Diddy give up any? That's the next one. Will he give up? So that last poll, we got a 50-50 on this real quick. So I'm gonna put up another poll. Will Diddy get away with this? 50% said yes, and 50% said no. So we're gonna end that poll, okay? And I'm gonna put up a new poll. All right. I'm gonna put up a new poll. So that last one, it was 50-50. He's singing like Luther Vandross. Yes, he telling Wendy. He is most definitely going to tell. Diddy ain't finna go down by himself. Let me tell you what they were talking about today. It was interesting. It was like he would allegedly get these people at these parties. You know, everybody wanna hang out. They're like, oh, this Diddy, da 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 da. And then he would allegedly have, the drinks would be spiked. And allegedly, he told the bodyguards not to drink out of that particular section. Okay? Because they knew that it was spiked, right? Oh, he ain't going down by himself at all. He's singing like Luther Vandross, just like you said. Okay? He's singing like Luther Vandross for real. He's singing like Luther Vandross, all right? Like on some real talk. Okay? If you haven't had an opportunity to hit the like, please hit the like and please hit subscribe to help us grow. Okay. We are looking forward to growing. We're at 126 subscribers now. We just got started on this channel. I'm super duper excited about what it is that we're doing. And, you definitely want to join us because we're going to be talking. Everybody should be on YouTube. You should be creating your channel. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, birthday is Monday. Yes, I'll be 56, the big 5-6. Okay, I'll be 56. Okay. Yes, I'll be 56. All right. So let's get back to it because it's some more stuff. It's some more stuff. Okay. There's some more stuff. And I want to make sure it's going to be something every single day when it comes to this story. All right. So I showed you the video, I showed you the raid, what they look like in their home, how it was ransacked, all kinds of stuff. All right. Brendan, the guy who is the one that was supplying them drugs, right? Which is insane. He actually went to Syracuse. He was considered the mule, P. Diddy's mule, all right, which is crazy. I mean, that's just sick. I mean, just crazy, I mean, to each his own, you have your own lifestyle. I think if Diddy would have just been honest about coming out being possibly gay, I think a lot of his troubles, his anger issues, maybe he would feel better about himself. I don't know, but let's check this out with let's go to get, because what they're saying is he running. He on the run. Diddy on the run. Diddy no longer associated with Revolt TV in any form or fashion. The company he started 2013 because it now completely under new ownership. So what he need that money for? Why he sell it? What you guys think? Why he sell it? Why he sell it, guys? Why did he sell it? Why he sell it? He sold it for a reason because he need the money. Okay? He needs the money. Seriously. All right. Like we said, it's unclear what exactly Revolt went through. And so what's crazy is there word on the curb is the man from Essence bought it. Essence, who if I think it was Shea Moisture, he was on Shea Moisture, and then now he bought Essence, and now he supposedly got Revolt. Okay, so that's going to be crazy. So did anybody see him pacing yesterday, P. Diddy, and crying? It looked like he was crying also. So that's going to be interesting because that's, I guess, showing that he kind of cares about what's happening to his sons. Because, you got or maybe he was crying for himself. Well, you guys tell me. Was he crying for him or was he crying for his family? because he was gone. Why you didn't take your sons with you? Why you on a jet? I don't understand that, y'all. I'm just like that right there. I don't think I can. I'm just like that's a punk move. I'm sorry. That's a punk A move, okay? Like, let me get up out of here because you know he was tipped off. So he's tipped off, and then you didn't even check on your kids. You know, that's insane to me. Sorry about that, guys. All right, so 50 Cent and Cassie react to Fez now. Now you guys know 50 Cent been trolling, but again, the word on the curb is that 50 Cent as girlfriend or baby mama used to work for P. Diddy. And she worked with him on the freak offs, the FOs. Okay. So she was getting paid a monthly stipend, which is absolutely insane. I mean, because Young Miami was getting 500,000 at first, and it was dropped down to 250,000. So I was like, wait a minute, 500 times three is 1.5 times four. If she was with him for a year. Okay, so you're talking 3 6. That's like $6 million for her to do the freak offs and to be on his arm. That's crazy. Okay, so Wendy says seems he's scared of something to run like that. Almost definitely he's scared of something. Ain't no way you running without and liquidating to get cash if you weren't guilty of something. Why are you running? Thank you so much for joining us all here on the YouTube, the Tube. So funny because back in the day it was called TV, the Tube. They used to call it the Tube also. Okay. If you haven't had an opportunity to like the video, please hit the like button, thumbs up, and please make sure that you subscribe to our channel, PKT Podcast. We really appreciate that. We appreciate you being here. We're a brand new channel that's growing, and really are going to just really be having some fun talking about a whole bunch of stuff. The Fonnie Willis, case that kind of died down, but it's getting ready to pick back up again. And then, of course, this is going to be on for a minute. It's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen over the rest of the next couple of days. This is crazy to see this happen to him. It is crazy to see, but he's always been, think about it for a second. I think I'm going to put that up. Andre Harrell, Kim Porter, Heavy D, and who was the other person? There was one more. It's four of them. They're all dead. Oh, Al B. Sure, but Al B. Sure is the one who made it. But he could have died. So 5 of them started Uptown Records. Why most of them dead and one of them was almost dead? But nothing happened with P. Diddy. He loves that level of control, that power. He's drunk off of it. And so even though he's being spanked right now, the question is has he humbled himself enough? That's the real question. Has he humbled himself enough? All right, so we're going to get back to this one little section of the agreement, and then we're going to call it out. So, because I really want you guys to kind of see this real quick. One momento. Let me pull it back up. So you guys can see it. Here we go. Okay. This is Mr. Jones. Okay, we read that. Throughout the duration of his career, Mr. Jones has worked Southside. We don't care about that right now. Summary of events. From the September 22nd to November 23rd, Mr. Jones produced 9 songs for Combs. He lived with Combs for those months at a time, spending holidays, birthdays, and missing his family. He resided with Combs' residence located in Los Angeles, New York, Miami, and Florida. Jones also spent several weeks on a yacht rented by Combs in the Virgin Islands. Throughout this time, Mr. Combs and Mr. Jones witnessed, experienced, and endured many that went far beyond his role as a producer for the Love album. The claim raised in the complaint have been corroborated through witness statements, videos, audios, and images that Mr. Jones has in his possession. Combs required Mr. Jones to record him constantly. On overall occasions, Mr. Combs took Mr. Jones' cell phone and began recording himself. As a result, Jones has secured 100 hours of footage and audio recording of Mr. Combs and his guests engaging in serious illegal activity. Okay. I should have put my sound effect on that one. I should have put my sound effect on that one. Okay. That's crazy. That's crazy. Let me put my sound effect. All right, so let's get back to it. Okay. All right. So alleged activity. Where to go? Da, 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 da. Okay. Mr. Jones has secured irrefutable evidence of the acquisition, use, and distribution of ecstasy, cocaine, GHB, codeine, marijuana, and mushrooms. Those were the drugs. That's crazy. The displaying and distribution of unregistered legal firearms. Mr. Cohn provided laced alcoholic beverages to minors and sex workers at his home in California, New York, Virgin Islands, and Florida. Combs, Kiki, which is Christina Carone, is chief of staff. If you guys aren't following, if you're on Instagram, please follow me here on the YouTube. I'll drop the link in for you guys. And please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Okay, don't forget to hit the subscribe button when you come on, and hit the like if you like the information that you are seeing, because I am reading what is going down. All that money and Diddy moving like that. Exactly. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I gotta show that. I gotta show that. All that money and he moving crazy. Right? 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 Okay. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. Okay. Christian Combs drugging and sexually assaulting women. What you say? What you say? That is crazy. He got the sons on here. Combs detailing how he planned to leverage his relationship with Bishop T.D. Jakes to soften the impact of his public image of Cassie Ventura's lawsuit. Young Miami cousin and assistant sexually assaulted Mr. Jones. That's crazy. Actor Cuban Gooding sexually assaulted Mr. Jones. Now, they got a video of him doing that, okay? Rapper Redacted on Mr. Combs' yacht consorted with the underage girls, sex workers, and R&B singer, which that person's name has been removed. And Mr. Combs' Los Angeles home consorting with underage girls and sex workers. Where they be finding these underage girls from? That's crazy. So I would not let no one see me doing F-ish with that type of money and status. Exactly. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Like, that's crazy. Okay? That's crazy. One evening during the camp, Mr. Combs, Jay Combs, which is Justin, and G were in a heated conversation. That conversation was moved out of the studio and into the restroom adjacent to Mr. Jones' seating. Mr. Jones was approximately 2 feet away from the bathroom when the gunshot ran out. Mr. Jones recalls hearing multiple gunshots. Mr. Jones immediately went into a state of shock and feared that he would get shot next. Mr. Jones genuinely believed that he would be shot through the door due to the to how close he was. After the shooting ended, a crowd gathered around the restroom. When the door finally opened, Mr. Combs and Jay Combs exited. G was lying on the restroom floor in fetal position, holding his stomach and bleeding out of his leg, hip area. What? Did he doing it like that? Did he doing it like that? If you're not following me here on YouTube, please go on over to YouTube because we reading this right here. We're reading this right here. I'm telling y'all, crazy. So make sure to join me on YouTube, honey. Here's the link. That's crazy. And that was him and his son. The one that ain't his son. The one that's the bodyguard's son. But he was so jealous of the bodyguard that he decided to allegedly take him out and claim him because that's what he do. Just like he did with Albie Shore son. Okay? Allegedly. All right. G was lying on the restroom floor in fetal position, holding his stomach and bleeding out from his hip area. Everyone stood around looking upon G, frustrated by the lack of aid to G. Mr. Jones dropped everything and ran to G and immediately began placing pressure on G's gunshot wound to his stomach. As he was applying pressure to his stomach, Mr. Jones realized that G was gushing blood from another area of his leg and hip. He decided to lift G and place him on the side of the toilet. Mr. Jones asked the crowd to call the ambulance, lifted G and brought him to the ambulance in the studio front. And at this time, Mr. Combs and Justin disappeared to another part of the studio. Mr. Holmes gave strict instructions to inform the police that he had nothing to do with the shooting. He also forced Mr. Jones to lie to the police by telling them that G was shot standing outside the studio by a drive-by assailant. Ooh wee. Here it is right here from the news. Man shot outside party in Hollywood recording studio. Because there was an article up on it. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. Okay? That's crazy. That's some crazy ish, y'all. That's some crazy ish. Okay? Let's go to the next. Mr. Jones has several corroborating witnesses who spoke with the writer anonymously due to the fear of retaliation from Mr. Combs. They have agreed to speak publicly when subpoenaed. Mr. Jones has the clothing he wore the day and believed, did you check that he got the clothing? And believe it may still have the stain of DNA of G's blood. That is crazy. Not sure if he died. I can't remember. The following are screenshots of the aftermath in the bathroom, y'all. Look at this. He got pictures. He got pictures. He got pictures. This is what's in here. That's crazy. I'm going to read a little bit more because, like I said, we're going to do part 2 tomorrow. Okay? Because it's 1:14 at night. That's crazy. Okay. Come on. Let me get back to it. Okay. Clearly, G was not shot outside the studio, as Mr. Combs instructed his team to report to the law enforcement. Mr. Combs and the defendant, LRMR UGM CRS, provided private security for the writers' camp and the defendant. The fact that either Mr. Combs and Justin Combs were allowed to enter the CRS with guns, and those guns were not confiscated by security, is a clear breach of duty by Mr. Combs' defendant, LRMR UGM, to protect Mr. Jones and other attendees at the writers' camp. As a result of the shooting, Mr. Jones is severely traumatized. Now suffers from PTSD, severe anxiety, depression, and insomnia because he's scared they're coming out there, especially after he done put somebody on his mama. Guys, they done put somebody on his mama. Okay? If y'all like what I'm doing here, show me some love. Drop some hearts in the chat. Hit the like and make sure you subscribe to the channel, our new channel on YouTube, man. This is crazy. This is crazy. Absolutely insane. Throughout the time living with Mr. Combs, Mr. Jones was a victim of constant, unsolicited, unauthorized groping and touching on his anus. Now, wait a minute now. Wait a minute now. They was touching his butt hole. Okay? Did somebody say something? They was touching his butt hole. Could somebody say something? I mean, y'all ain't got no comments about that. That's crazy. Okay? And it was by Mr. Puffy that was touching and groping him. These events took place in LA, New York, Florida, and the Virgin Islands. In addition to the unsolicited and unauthorized touching of Mr. Jones, was forced by Mr. Combs to work in Mr. Combs' bathroom as Mr. Combs walked around naked and showered in a clear glass enclosure. So Diddy wanted him to see him buck naked. He wanted him to see his stuff swinging. I'm just saying, that's what he did. That's what he did. That's what he wanted. That's what he wanted, y'all. Diddy crazy. Okay. Woo, child. As a heterosexual Christian man, Mr. Jones was uncomfortable with Mr. Combs' advances and expressed his discomfort to Mr. Combs' chief of staff, Kiki. Well, KK. KK responded to Mr. Jones' complaint with, "You know Sean will be Sean." So she know he doing this, and she just gonna say Sean gonna be Sean, walking around naked with his thing slinging. That's crazy. Y'all think that's crazy? Y'all think that's crazy? Your boss walking around with no clothes on. Your boss walking around with no clothes on. Y'all think that's crazy? You got a job and your boss is walking around without no clothes. How would you feel? How would you feel? Okay. All right, so let's go. KK responded again, Sean will be Sean. She also attempted to downplay Mr. Combs' groping. Don't work for that. Okay. All right. KK also attempted to downplay Mr. Combs' groping and Mr. Jones' anus and genitals as friendly horseplay. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. She said what? So groping, touching his a-hole and his private was friendly horseplay from one man to another if another person is heterosexual. Okay? That's what she said. That's crazy. Stating that those acts were Mr. Combs' way of showing that he likes you. What? Despite those assurances on several occasions, assurances on several occasions when Mr. Combs began to undress and walk around the house naked, KK would say, "Okay, I'm leaving now," and she would disappear. KK hypocrisy is breathtaking at its best and enabling at worst. Mr. Jones believed that KK aided and abetted Mr. Combs' sexual assault of him and was working with Mr. Combs to groom him into accepting homosexual relationships. Through these sexual deviant acts, one would say Mr. Combs had a pattern of practice of engaging in nefarious activities. This ongoing conduct shows that Mr. Combs cannot be rehabilitated. That's crazy. What you say? What the F is going on? Yeah. Is that what you said? Is that what you said? You said, what the heck is going on here? Okay. That's crazy. That's all I can tell you. It's crazy. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. Mm-mm. Okay, guys. Hold on a second. Okay. It says, could you imagine what this man has done in the last 30 years? Shake my head. Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's why I was like, I want to read this for myself. I didn't want other people sitting up here trying to tell me, we hear so much stuff. And I'm just like, wow, this now mind you, this is a complaint against him, okay? Mr. So why do you think they were raiding him? They had to have something to raid him from. They had to have something. They just ain't finna. Although I feel like they should have did that to other people, bust down they door and had the police come looking at them like that. But you doing this to him. So when people say, "Oh, they trying to take a black man down," I don't necessarily know if it's trying to take a black man down. What I feel is if P Diddy put himself in that position, okay, he put himself in that position with his arrogancy and his narcissistic attitude and thinking that he can't be touched and thinking that he can violate people. Okay. That's just how I feel about the situation. All right. So let's keep going. Mr. Combs attempted to groom Mr. Jones into engaging in gay sex. This is what he says. Mr. Combs was aware that Mr. Jones looked up and idolized the producer. Ooh, guys, listen to this. Stephen Aaron Jones, which is Stevie J. Stevie J is an American DJ producer, was part of Bad Boy Records production. He was known as the Hitman. Won a Grammy as he worked for P. Diddy's debut album. Stevie J produced several artists: Mariah Carey, Tevin Campbell, Notorious B.I.G., 112, Jodeci Faith, Jay-Z, and Eve. And yes, and Stevie J used to be in a relationship with Eve. I remember that. Stevie J was one of the producers of Love album. Mr. Combs used access to Stevie J and his knowledge of Mr. Jones' admiration for Stevie J to groom and entice Mr. Jones to engage in homosexuality. So what he said was, because I admired Stevie J and I wanted to be him, that I would have those relationships with meaning encounters with Combs. That's crazy. Mr. Combs went so far as to share a video of Stevie J annually penetrating a Caucasian male without a condom. This was done to ease Mr. J's anxiety concerning homosexuality, according to Mr. Combs. This is a normal practice in the music industry. Look, even Stevie J is doing it. Mr. Combs Mr. Combs informed Mr. Jones that he had engaged in sexual intercourse with rapper. The name was taken out. R&B singer. The name was taken out. And Stevie J. Mr. Combs promised to make sure that Mr. Jones wins Producer of the Year at the Grammys if he engaged in homosexual activity. So he said, let me go ahead and do this with you, and I'll get you a Grammy. The following are screenshots of the video of Stevie J. Now they claim that wasn't Stevie J afterwards, but they're showing actual video footage of this. That's crazy. Thanksgiving, Mr. Jones is sexually assaulted by Young Miami's cousin. So if you guys know who Young Miami is, she's a Miami rapper. She was part of a group. I forgot the name of the group. It was her and another young lady. It says on Thanksgiving of 2022, Mr. Jones and Mr. Combs' house located in Miami, Young Miami and her female cousin were also present. Mr. Combs was intoxicated and offered cocaine to Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones rejected him and proceeded to walk to the restroom. While using the restroom, Young Miami's cousin burst into the bathroom and began groping Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones believed that Mr. Combs sent her in to sexually assault Mr. Jones. As she entered the bathroom, she dropped to her knees and began performing oral sex on him. So he went to the bathroom and exposed his penis. And she came, ugh, gross. Like, ugh, gross, gross. I'm sorry. That's crazy. Okay. He was in the bathroom. You don't even know this dude. Okay. Ooh, I tell you, people don't care. All right. While using the restroom, young Miami's cousin burst in, right? As she entered the bathroom, she dropped to her knees and began oral sex on Mr. as he exposed his penis. Mr. Jones pushed her away, right, and exited the bathroom. Young Miami's cousin did not accept Mr. Jones' rejection as she proceeded to follow him to out the bathroom. She started to undressing and attempted to straddle him and have sex with him on the presence of Mr. Combs and his staff. Then he got pictures of them in the area. This is crazy. This is crazy. Okay? If you're not joining me over here on YouTube, I'm going to drop the link again. Join us here. Make sure, guys, if you guys like what is going down, some of the information that I'm sharing with you that's going down, I'm scratching my head. That's all I can say. I'm scratching my head right now. I'm like, wow. 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 Okay. I'm going to read this section and we're going to leave the rest of it for tomorrow for part 2 because we already been on for about an hour and 15 minutes. But I tell you what, you get so engulfed in some of this information and disbelief of some of the things that's going down. And like they said, it's normal practice in that industry. That's what they were saying. So Trafficking and Victims Protection Act. Throughout the time with Combs, Jones was transported from California to New York, to Florida, and the Virgin Islands. This is where they're trying to say that Diddy is sex trafficking, because when he would get to sex workers and stuff like that, he was taking them from state to state. This is where I honestly feel that they're going to get him on this and not the assault portion that they were talking about. Okay. During the time, Jones was forced to solicit sex workers and perform sex acts to please P. Diddy. Now, why you just didn't? Well, he said he was in fear of his life. Hey, Nikki, I'm just saying that's crazy. On or before or about February 2023, Combs and Jones to bring prostitutes and sex workers back to his home in Miami. Again, if you are here on Instagram, come on and follow me on the new YouTube channel, which is Pussycat Talk Podcast, PKT Podcast. And I am literally reading the actual items that are, that came up for P. Diddy. And this, wow, this is crazy, right? This is crazy. So here they have the sex workers that Mr. Combs forced Mr. Jones to bring back to the home. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. And these people are turning against him. They're turning against him. All right? Believes that Mr. Combs drugged him. Jones recalls waking up naked, dizzy, and confused. He was in the bed with 2 women, sex workers, and Mr. Combs. Lord have mercy. He also recalls aimlessly wandering around the house with no clothes on. Look at this picture of the women in the bed. That's crazy. That's crazy. On another occasion in Miami, Florida, on Thanksgiving night, Mr. Jones and Combs and DeForest Taylor to enter into a studio bathroom. He asked them for $100 bill because he wanted to use it for cocaine. Mr. Jones was scared, but luckily he didn't have a $100 bill, so Combs waited a little later to do coke with Young Miami. Later that evening, he required Mr. Jones to solicit sex workers from Booby Trap River. Booby Trap on the river with the address, because they're giving the addresses to everything. That's crazy. Mr. Jones did so. Mr. Combs forced him to engage in unsolicited sex acts with the workers, and they showing a booby trap truck. So he's saying he's being forced this whole time to have sexual intercourse with these people. As part of Mr. Jones' sex workers recruitment tool, Mr. Combs provided Mr. Jones with an exclusive bad boy baseball cap and required him to wear it to the booby trap on the river as a signal to any sex worker he approached for Mr. Combs was in town and sent to Miss Jones for recruitment. So he was like, hey, where my paraphernalia? Okay, that's what he was saying. Where my paraphernalia? All right. So they know that you with bad boy because they're going to get paid and we want to make sure that they are coming. That's really what it is. So here it is. You got pictures of the girls, right? This was Florida. Oh, no, this was New York that this was filed. This was filed in New York. Okay? This was filed in New York. Mm-hmm. And how they're talking about the trafficking is between the states. Bye, Instagram. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to finish over here on YouTube. So if you want to join us on YouTube, here's the link again. I'm going to finish up this part because we may get it in. So just join us on YouTube, okay? All right. All right, guys. Let me because this was in my way. But I wants to read some more of this to you guys. Y'all want me to read some more? Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button because I am here to tell you this right here is crazy. This is pretty crazy, guys. All right. So let's read a little bit more. Because they had the booby trap. Okay. Mr. Jones had no desire to visit the booby trap on the river. Mr. Jones had no desire to solicit sex workers from the booby trap on the river. Mr. Combs used his power and influence to intimidate and force Mr. Jones into soliciting sex workers at the booby trap on the river. As detailed below, Mr. Combs used many tactics to maintain dominion and control. I can believe that because, you know, he's kind of a control freak in itself. So I can believe that he was trying to control him. You know, he controlled the people around him. Let me put it to you that way. Okay. I do believe that. All right. The following are Instagram profile of the two of the sex workers that Mr. Combs required to solicit sex and to bring them back at the house. And he got the telephone, he got the phone and everything. Mr. Jones had no desire to solicit sex in the individual's previous paragraph. Mr. Combs used his power and influence to intimidate and force Mr. Jones into soliciting and sleeping with these women. You know, can you make somebody have sex with another person? Because I'm gonna get to this part because this is the part that's crazy. Okay. The following phone number and another sex worker from Combs required Mr. Jones to solicit and perform sex acts with at his home in Miami. Jones had no desire to solicit, he keeps saying that, or have sex with the individual in the previous paragraph. Combs used the power influence. We already got that. This is duplicated. Mr. Combs used many tactics to maintain dominion over Mr. Jones. He promised him a Grammy for Producer of the Year for the Love album. He offered him $250,000 to purchase all his instruments he wanted, and he promised him his $20 million property at Star Island in Miami. He promised access to record label executives like the defendant Lucian Charles Grange and Ethiopian Habertamium. So basically, what you telling me is, you was game to do it because you wanted what you wanted. That's just my opinion. I'm sorry. That's my opinion. You're like, okay, I'll do this, but you said you're going to give me this? Okay, I'll do it. Who agree with me on that? Who agree with me on that? Anybody want to come up? Anybody want to come up with me? And please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, okay? But who agree with anybody else? Anybody agree with me on that? So he was willing to do it. He was willing to do it. He was willing to do it. Mr. Combs would often switch up his approach. He would go from promising Mr. Jones the world to threatening Mr. Jones with physical harm. Mr. Combs threatened to eat Mr. Jones' face and informed Mr. Jones that he was willing to kill his mother, Janice Combs, if he must in order to get what he wanted. Again, control, control. On July 2nd, 2023, which is just last year, at a listening party at his home, R&B singer, which they took the name out, Jay Combs, which is Justin, sex workers, and some underage girls. The event was at 7 p.m. Mr. Combs requested a female sex worker and required Mr. Jones to solicit them. An hour later, several sex workers appeared. In addition to the sex workers, there were at least 5 women in the crowd that were underage at 16. Mr. Combs forced all the women to drink laced Dillion liquor. Upon information and belief that Mr. Combs laced the liquor with ecstasy. With ecstasy. He was lacing the drinks. He was lacing the drinks, y'all. He was lacing the drinks. It depends. I don't know. It depends on what state, I guess. It depends on what state. That's crazy. Okay, let's keep it going. Okay, so wait a minute, where am I? Mr. Combs did not check the identification of any of the underage girls. The presence of these underage women made Mr. Jones very uncomfortable, so he had attempted to leave, and Mr. Combs forced him to stay. Mr. Combs went so far to take Mr. Jones' car keys to prevent him from leaving. After being forced to drink laced Dillion shots, Mr. Jones began feeling lightheaded and recalled passing out at 4 and waking up at 4 a.m. the following morning, naked with sex workers sleeping next to him. Y'all believe it? Do y'all believe it? Do y'all believe it? Anybody want to join me up here? Anybody want to come on? Crazy. Crazy. If you want to join me on here, come on, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. All right, screenshots of the video from the night embedded. Look at this. Look at this. Mr. Combs with an underage female, sex workers. This is what they're alleging. Justin Combs with an underage female. That's terrible. That's supposed to be his son, right? Mr. Jones believed that Mr. Combs was grooming him to pass him off to his friends. The fear became reality when Mr. Combs introduced Mr. Jones to Cuba Goodings. Wow. Now, wait a minute now. They showed an actual video. So look at this. While they were at Mr. Combs' yacht. Look at this. During the introduction, Mr. Combs suggested that Cuba get to know Mr. Jones better. He then left them alone in the makeshift studio on the yacht. This is Mr. Combs, P. Diddy, and Cuba Gooding Jr. talking at the party. Y'all see that? Y'all see that? As evidence by the video, of which screenshot is embedded below, Cuba Gooding Jr. began touching, groping, and fondling Mr. Jones' leg, his upper inner thigh, near his groin, the small of his back, near the buttocks of his shoulder. Mr. Jones was extremely uncomfortable and proceeded to lean away from Cuba Gooding Jr. He rejected his advances, and Cuba Gooding Jr. did not stop until Mr. Jones forcefully pushed him away. The following screenshot of the encounter look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Y'all see this? That's crazy. That's crazy. So we're going to stop it on here. We're going to stop it on here. We're going to come back tomorrow. That is crazy. Woo. I'm glad my sons didn't want to be in the music industry. Well, one of them did. That's crazy. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's session. Mind blowing. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. We're going to be back here tomorrow for another session. It's going to be so much stuff that's going to be dropping. It's going to blow you guys' mind. And we're going to continue to keep bringing you the news, baby, of what's going on. So I want to say thank you for joining me tonight. We'll be back to read more of the complaint that was filed against P. Diddy, his sons, the record labels, and more people. And you got to stay tuned, y'all. Y'all got to stay tuned. So this is Dr. Tamara with Pussycat Talk Podcast. We will see you tomorrow. Meow. Talk to you later.